In today's notes, we're going to take a look at inequalities from an application standpoint. So we're just going to be looking at some word problems. We're going to annotate those like you would in ELA because we're looking for the important words that are inside word problems. How do we set them up? How do we know what to do with the information we've been given? So we're going to begin here with number 1. It says Keith has $500 in his savings account at the beginning of summer. Now the word beginning is sort of important there. If I think about beginning, that's our start, right? So he starts with $500. He wants to have at least, that's important, at least $200 at the end of summer. So we want to begin with 500. We want to have at least 200 when we get to the end of summer. He withdraws $25 per week. Now, I know something about the word per. Per usually tells me I need to multiply. So he's withdrawing 25. And I also know that the word withdraw means to subtract. So he's taking $25 out every week for food, clothing, and movie tickets. How many weeks can Keith withdraw money from his account? Okay, let's set this up. So I have $500 to start with. And then he starts taking money out. He's going to take out 25 every week. So 25, and I'm going to use W for week. So 25 each week, and I want to have at least $200. So I can have 200. So what the word at least means, I can have 200 or more. So I'm going to say greater than or less than $200. All right, so there's my inequality. I need to go ahead and solve. So think about, I'm going to subtract 500 from both sides. So we have negative 25W is greater than or equal to, well, 200 subtract 500 is 300. Don't forget the negative sign. Divide both sides by negative 25. Oh, wait a second. I just divided by a negative. My brain goes, oh yeah, don't forget to flip your symbol. Dividing both sides. So W, my weeks are less than or equal to, well, what's 300 divided by 25? Now think 4 25s go into 100, so 4, 8, 12, right? So that means how many weeks can Keith withdraw money from his account? Well, for up to 12 weeks. After 12 weeks, he's going to run out of money. Okay, let's take a look at another one. A mechanic charges $30 per hour plus a one-time service charge of $60. Okay, keywords there. $30 per hour, that's 30H. That means multiply. A one-time service charge. So this only happens once, and he does that at first. So that's kind of like our beginning. We begin by paying him $60, and then we pay him for every hour he works. If Erica has at most means less than or equal to, right? That's the top amount she can get to is $500 to spend to fix her car. How many hours can the mechanic work on her car? Okay, so he's going to charge her $60 just to begin working. Then he's going to charge her $30 for every hour, so 30H, 30 times H, that's each hour that he works. And has to be less than or equal to $500. Okay, so let's go ahead and we would solve this inequality. Remember, we'd start by moving the constant. We're going to move the 60 because inequalities follow our rules of equations. So 30H is now less than or equal to 500. Subtract 60, so that would be 440. And then we're going to go ahead and it looks like we are going to divide both sides by 30. That H did not print very well. There you go. So H is less than or equal to, well, what's 440 divided by 30? Okay, that would be 14, and then it's a decimal, and it's just 6 repeating. So how many hours? Well, about 14 hours, right? About 14 hours worth of labor is all that we can work on the car, or we'll run out of money. Number 3, Chris wants to order DVDs online. Each DVD costs $15.99, and shipping the entire order costs $9.99. Okay, keywords. Each means it's happening over and over, so each DVD costs $15.99. There's my multiplication. Shipping the entire order costs $9.99. This is one time. This only happens once, so this is how much you can see I begin with. Here, I have to pay that much to get it shipped, and then I can order more DVDs. If he can spend no more than $100, how many DVDs can he buy? So I'm going to set this one up for you as well. So $15.99 each, so I can say $15.99 for each DVD. I'm going to use X. That represents how many DVDs I buy. I have to pay for shipping. That's $9.99. No more than $100 to spend, so I have to spend less than or equal to $100. And from here, you can solve your two-step inequality to find out how many DVDs he can buy. So I want you to go ahead and pause your video now, work the problem, and see if you can determine how many DVDs he has enough money for if he has $100. Okay, so if we think about in context of this problem, we find out that he can buy less than or equal to 5.629 DVDs. Now, they're not going to send you 0.629 of a DVD. You're going to have to buy whole DVDs. So that means that he can purchase 5 DVDs. Okay, let's take a look one more. At the Spanish Club bake sale, all items are selling for $8 each. Okay, $8 each. That's multiplication. If the Spanish Club had to pay $50 for their supply, so that means that they had to take $50 out of their pocket, that's a takeaway, that's a subtraction, to get their supplies in space. Now, they only did that one time, right? They had to just pay it once. How many items would they need to sell in order to make a profit of more than $500? Well, more than is greater than 500. Okay, $8 each for their bake stuff. So $8 for every time they sell something. So $8 per cookie, $8 per cake, whatever it is that items they have. They're going to make that money. And then they're going to pay for their supplies and the rental fee. So subtract 50. And they want to make more than $500. There's your two-step inequality. Go ahead, pause, and solve. Okay, so it looks like we need to make or sell more than 68.75 items. Now, of course, you're not going to like divvy up your cookies and take partial payment. So here, if I want to know how many items they would need to sell to make a profit of more than, they would need a minimum of 69 baked items. Oh, let me get that. 69. I'm going to erase that and try again. So when we set these up, look for what you're multiplying. Look for what only happens one time. Be careful with your inequality. Am I greater than? Am I less than? Do I want no more than? At least? Find your total, set up your two-step inequality, and then solve.